All right. Hello, Cancer. This is going to be March 2023 reading. Can apply to Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars, or stellium placements. Or if you have an impactful transit that's hitting that area of your chart where that energy is just amplified for you right now. Or if you just feel like it's your message, then it's your message. We're going to start off with astrology cards, and apparently, holy shit, you guys they're ready to talk. Wow. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Definitely think you guys have been forged through fire for sure. You've got fire on the bottom of the deck, so the element of fire can be relevant. Fire sign. You could just be connecting more to the fire element right now in your life. I know Mars is moving into Cancer very soon. But maybe you're just connecting to more of this energy of really working hard, really finding the confidence in yourself to go after what it is that you need or want right now in your life, and really trying to reconnect to the things in life that make you feel passionate towards achievement of a goal. Because there's definitely a goal here, because Saturn is here. We've got Pluto, the moon. I think I'm going to sneeze. Nope. And we've got Saturn. So I definitely feel like there's been a lot of pressure. There's been a lot of limitation. I think you've been working really hard. I think you've really been struggling. I think that there are areas of your life where these restrictions have felt like a lot, because Pluto is the card of transformation. And I think that with the moon here, there's been a lot of self-sacrifice. And I think that's why the fire energy is coming up so strong for you, because I feel like this is an energy of you finally really digging deep into what it is that you need for yourself and your emotional needs. It is a gift you guys do have, I will say this. Nurturing other people is totally a fucking gift that you guys have, and it's a beautiful gift. But sometimes you can get really lost in it, and it can kind of become your identity to some extent, where you really forego your own needs. So I do think that there is an energy here of that changing. I think that you're really starting to focus on what it is that you need right now. I really want to see what's under fire. Got the 11th house, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think that you're like really shifting emotionally. Not saying that you don't care about people right now, but I feel like that there's something here about maybe like learning to say no in a bigger way, especially when it comes to things that you need or things that you need to achieve. Because I'll tell you what, a fire sign will be the first to do that, buddy. Okay, so let's get started. Let's see what's going to come from cards. I'm going to be using this deck, and then I'm going to be pulling clarifiers. Okay. Gemini had a very similar card, although yours is coming up in the reverse. We've got the Page of Cups in the reverse. I definitely think that emotions are being set aside right now, or I feel like you've been dealing with some empty apologies. Or maybe one of those things where it's like the emotional outpouring of someone trying to express how sorry they feel of something or on something. I don't think is like doing what it once used to, because this is really giving me crocodile tears. And I'm not saying that there aren't real feelings in the apology, but I feel like the way that the apology comes about, that's what seems to be most important here. It's like the way that the apology comes about, and that's because of the first two cards that are here. We've got the Three of Cups in reverse and the High Priestess in the reverse. I feel like the apology comes about when the person gets caught. Or I feel like the apology comes about when things aren't feeling very good and like when reality hits. So it's almost like I'm trying to figure out how to explain this. And I think it's the way that this apology is delivered. Like literally the way it's said. Because the Queen of Swords is here too. But I feel like it's almost like things can't be fun all the time, right? Like things can't be fun all of the time. Sometimes things require a lot of hard work, and sometimes things require sacrifice. And sometimes we have to set aside very particular things in our life in order to achieve either a goal, singular, or a common goal. And I do feel like with the Three of Cups here, because it does involve multiple people, there is something about a common goal here, but I also think that it's almost like being influenced by one's environment or being influenced by other people potentially. And with the High Priestess in the reverse, it may be one of those things where it's like the truth only comes out when things get really hard, or the truth only comes out when they get caught, or the truth only comes out when things are getting really rough and they have to like face. I mean, this could be you. This could be flipped the other way around, I might add. It might be the other person here, and this might, be somebody else. But when responsibility has to be faced. And then it's like the way that the person comes through here is, it's like really emotional, overwhelming. Probably a lot of emotion is shown here because this is kind of more of a childlike energy. So the way in which it can come out can be a lot. But then it's like this weird other energy that comes out where it's like, I'm going to apologize, but at the same time, I'm almost going to utilize and I'm going to utilize and show or speak up on like the origin point of where this issue is coming from. And I'm going to blame it on something. Like, well, you don't know how it feels. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know this. You don't know that. Because these words are very cutting. They're very like, they want to essentially hit you where it hurts. But also, like, let's be real too about this energy. This energy is also the energy of an individual who has been through a lot. But they have also weaponized their pain. So it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Boundaries are great. Protecting yourself is great. But not when protecting yourself is like, I'm only protecting myself because I got caught, or I'm only protecting myself because I don't want to give up whatever this is. Like, I don't want to give up what this does for me. And maybe I'll tell you what you want to hear. Like, maybe I'll tell you what you want to hear or what you need to hear. But at the end of the day, Three of Pentacles in reverse, like, I'm not really going to work on it. I'm only going to work on it for so long. And then when it gets too hard, or it requires more responsibility out of me, or the pressure gets too much, or it gets too overwhelming, this is when the cycle starts all over again. because then I feel like you really step in and you hold something accountable or someone accountable for whatever it is that's going on here. Because there's an issue here. Like there is an issue here. And I feel like the judgment on this has been postponed. I feel like there's been a lot of patience. And it's almost like continuing to try to get through the first two stages. It's like, let's get through the first two things, and then every time you get to the third one, it falls apart. We're going to try this first, and then we're going to try this. After you do this, right? After you go through the first stage of the first cycle, now it's time for the second level. Then you get to the end of the second level, and you can't get to the fucking third level. Like, I don't know what it is about that. So whether this is a friend, coworker, family member, whatever, there's just a cycle here that's been very challenging. And I'm going to be honest, with Pluto, the Moon, and Saturn here, it's a lot. Because there's power, there's issues with power here too. Power struggles, right? Pluto's all about that. You can really pull that out. And Saturn is like, I want you to take responsibility. I want you to transform. I want you to change. I want you to mature. I want you to grow up. I want you to like really lean into what it's going to take to transform and change this. So I feel like that's been the topic of conversation, right? And I feel like with you, if this is you sitting in the Emperor seat, which is, I mean, fire energy too, and the Emperor is connected to Mars. So maybe when Mars moves into Cancer, you're going to be taking this shit way more seriously. Or maybe when Mars moves into Cancer, you're going to be a little bit more. I don't want to say like in your power, but maybe. I feel like this is where it's like you're done playing games. And I think you really want to see the execution of the work. It's funny, that was something I was talking about earlier this morning with somebody. I was like, don't fucking tell me you just did it, show me how you did it. Like, I hate it when you have to deal with that with people sometimes, where like you keep catching them not doing what they say they're going to do, and eventually you're like, show me how you did this. Show me how you got here. It's like a math problem. Even though some people are really great at doing math in their heads, you still need to see how they got there. And so I feel like that's kind of what this is. Where you're really starting to understand, where you're like, show me what you're doing. Like, show me where the change is actually taking place. Because I feel like I'm not seeing it. So, let's pull clarifiers real quick, and then we're going to call this out. We're going to be done with it. Clarify that 3 of Cups. Yeah, dude. High Priestess in reverse. The Queen of Swords. The 3 of Pentacles. Somebody does not know how to stick to something. And then the Emperor card. Yeah, you're done. Emperor at the bottom of the deck. Double down on that shit. When Mars goes into your sign, you are not playing games for anything. You're just not. And you've got the Chariot with the Emperor, which is also your ruling card. You're not playing games. You will succeed with or without whatever this is. Especially connected to the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. You're done. If it isn't providing you stability and it isn't providing you security, you're done. Anyway, let's start at the beginning, shall we? So with the 3 of Cups in reverse, we have the Page of Cups, and we have the 9 of Swords. How funny. So I was talking about how I feel like whatever this apology is, it's like an empty apology, or it's like an apology only when I get caught. Or, you know, it's an apology when shit hits the fan and reality strikes. You kind of have to live with the repercussions of what has happened. And I almost feel like with this energy too, it's like somebody knows they're running out of chances. Like somebody knows that they're running out of opportunity. This is so similar to Gemini. It hurts. So similar to Gemini. So I'll be damned if there is not Gemini somewhere in your chart or whoever's chart this is, vice versa. Or if you're a Gemini that has some Cancer in your chart or you're dealing with somebody with Cancer in their chart, I don't care. Like there's some shit here that is very similar. High Priestess in the reverse, we have the King of Pentacles with the Seven of Wands. I feel like there is something incredibly unstable here. And I feel like somebody keeps trying to defend the fact that they're stable. Like I feel like somebody's like trying to defend what it is that they're doing. Once again, that Queen of Swords, right? Trying to defend what it is they're doing and why. And I think it somehow gets put on you. Like I think you get pointed out as part of the problem. Because you don't do enough or you don't show up in a certain way or like you're trying to control something. It's a really weird energy. Knight of Cups in the reverse with that Queen of Swords. I'm sorry. Sometimes the way these cards talk it cracks me up and I'm like sitting here just waiting to figure out the right way to say it. I feel like there's something about this behavior that's very withholding. I would use the word bratty. Like when I was looking at this, I just heard like, this is a fucking brat. Like this is the kind of person that like withholds. It's a power play. It's a game. Like it's power struggles, right? With Pluto and Saturn. But they're emotional. And that's fucked. It's fucked up. Three of Pentacles in reverse with the Knight of Wands in reverse. I feel like the work keeps getting backtracked on. Like I feel like the work gets first two stages, right? Like I was saying, first two stages, you're hitting it. Or they're hitting it. Somebody's hitting it. And like they're doing it. They're passing the levels. They're getting a fucking A. And then out of nowhere, when that third level hits, or the fourth, huge turnaround. Like the energy dissolves and no longer can, be applied. So there's an energy with focus here. There's an energy with maintaining something. There's an energy with somebody changing their mind a lot. There's an energy of something continuing to impact this that causes the like doop, U-turn. And I just feel like with the Chariot facing away from all of that, you're just like, dude, everything I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do the right thing, or I'm trying to do the thing that I'm doing, or the way that I'm doing things. I'm doing them because I know what I'm talking about. Like that is what the Emperor is all about. The Emperor is someone who most definitely knows what they're talking about. If it was in the reverse, I'd be questioning this. But in the upright, it literally is trying to do what's best. And in many ways, it knows what's best. And it most certainly is going to stand 10 toes down on what it says. So it's like something here just isn't cutting it. And I feel like with this, it's like as soon as you do this, this person's going to shift their energy into the Queen of Cups, Ace of Cups reverse, the Lovers in reverse. And they're going to take that Page of Cups and they're going to amplify whatever this gesture is. This is emotional manipulation at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Because there's nothing to offer in that cup with that Ace of Cups in reverse and the Lovers in reverse. This isn't about evolution. Please listen to Gemini's reading. Holy shit. This isn't about evolution. This is about the fact that, like, whatever the work is that's necessary, like, it just can't be put in this situation. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is you, vice versa, right? If the roles are reversed. I don't know if there's something about, I mean, with fucking Pluto here and with Saturn here, there definitely is something that's like triggering about this situation. Or there's something that you guys like pull out of each other. And that's why I'm like, I think this I'm not saying this relationship is fake at all. I'm not saying that. Lovers, even if it's in the reverse, at one point there was this point of coming together, and you guys definitely came together for a reason. So whether this is a relationship, whether it is a business partner, whether it is an institution, whether it is a group project, whether, you know, the list goes on, whether it's a family member. There was a path that was laid out in this at one point, and then choices were made. I think one person, which is the whole point of the Lovers, one person wanted to evolve, right? Get better, be better, do better. Somebody made a choice here where like they didn't do that, or they couldn't, and like they've been struggling ever since. So, with that being said, March of 2023 this is where your focus is going to be. You're going to be thinking a lot about this. You're going to be thinking a lot about this, and I actually have a feeling that you're going to end up going down a path less traveled. I think you're carving out a whole new path. I really do. I really, really do. And it's going to look good on you too. So, good luck. And I will see you guys next time.